I've waited patiently to have this conversation. And this is one of the times where it does suck to skip a week because I was really juiced for it last week. But I still want to talk about this. And it's one of the rare times, folks, where I don't have a wrestling topic in the main event, but that's how strongly I feel about this because I have mixed emotions. Mixed emotions. Squid Games came out with its final installment on Netflix, Season 3, which, as we discussed previously when we talked about Squid Games, it was really one long season that they cut in half. That's really what it was. And so they had the first season that set everything up, the third season where everything hit the fan, and then we were off and running. And so we had this big turnaround. Me and you sat down. We talked about that whole second season. We met all these new players. We went through all these new games. There was a lot of things left open on the table for us to wait and see what was going to happen. Before we get into the actual specifics of the season, I know that you sat down and finally watched the whole thing. And so I want to start this off with a question, and that because I've asked myself this question. I've seen this question asked online. I'll ask it to you. Do you feel like it was a seamless transition from seasons 2 to 3, or do you feel like 3 completely curved ball from season 2?
Well, that question's a fucking curveball. I wouldn't even have thought of it like that.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be one continuous thing, but there are some people online saying, I don't know what the fuck happened in 3. Why did it feel so different? Even though it had the same people in it, which I didn't get that sense. I felt like
what? Okay, there's one thing I wish I had the time to fucking do or prioritize better. That's what I'll say. I'll say that. Because I could have made the time if I prioritized it a little bit better. But there was other things. There was one thing I did wish I did before we got here because I wanted to have a little bit more of an idea of what the people were saying. Maybe you can fill me in. But before I got the chance, and I got the chance to watch it by luck. Because when it came out, I wanted to watch this really bad. My wife was not in the fucking mood. I couldn't pay her to sit down and watch anything. She just was not in the mood for shit. And I was kind of salty because this was the first time like something new came out. We were going to talk about it. And I actually was trying to like 3 days in a row, try to make the time for it. And I was just getting rejected. So I was like, all right, that's fine. It is what it is. I'll have to eat the L. You sent it over to take a look at it. I watched the spoilers, and if you've listened to us talk about spoilers, you know how much I fucking hate spoilers. But I did it so I could contribute to only have canceled it. So now I'm like, fuck, I could have actually watched it. So I watched it anyway, and I did what I did when I watched spoiler. I'm like, oh, this is going to fucking suck because there's no suspense because I kind of know what's going on.
Okay.
Dude, it still blew me away. Like, I still had all the emotion. I still had all of the, like, oh my God.
Because you saw clips. You didn't take the ride. It's different. I saw the ending. It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Dude.
You just told me that it didn't. You just told me it didn't.
No. I didn't say it didn't matter. It did still take away. But my point is, it was so good that I still had moments. Like, I was still... Basically, I guess I just experienced in a way that I assume you experience everything, where you know what's going on, but you still enjoy the ride.
Right, exactly.
That sounds normal to you, but to me, I never experienced that.
And you know what's funny is it may not work out like that for you all the time. So I'm glad on this one occasion you were able to still experience the ride, so to speak,
right,
and still enjoy the actual outcome. So go ahead.
But to answer your question, no, I didn't think it was so different from each other. If anything, I'll go the opposite way and say I think there were two characters that suffered from the season being split that I think otherwise probably would have hit a lot harder if it just kept going.
Okay.
And the two characters is the crazy shaman woman.
Uh-huh.
Because her ramp started right after they cut it off. So before she was just annoying and like, oh, she'll never be the first crazy lady. That bitch was amazing.
Yeah,
like
she was dope.
She was phenomenal. And then you get her build was so slow. But if I try to think of it in retrospect, like mushing them together, her ramp was right after. So if you're not fully remembering like the way she was,
yeah,
it will disconnect you with her.
Okay.
Because it's like, where's this dickhead coming from? I remember she was stupid. Now they're trying to make her cool, whatever the case may be. The other person that I think
Can I guess who the second person is? You're going to say?
Yes, but I will say that I think this person got hurt the most.
Uh-huh.
This is number one. What do you think it is?
I think it was Deho.
Dude, I'm not good with these names.
It's the one who was supposed to get the guns and then cowered out.
Yes.
Yes, I knew it.
Yes.
I knew it.
They played him so he had one of the best character builds because you kind of felt it the whole time. He was my favorite with the relay race where they were all hooked together. I'm getting fucking chills, dude. They were hooked together, and he was playing the girl game, and they were trying to make him look like a bitch. But then they did this really cool scene when he did it, and he like shined. Like they shot it in a way where he like had a glow moment where he was fucking doing tricks and shit. Like,
yeah,
it was so epic. And then it ends, it disconnects you, and then the feud between the two, if you weren't like remembering it or what happened again, if you were ever in that moment, the climax of that I could understand would feel so kind of like taken away from you a little bit because you basically just stopped the climax and then next you climax. So it just kind of takes away from it. But yeah, that's my point to the question of like the separation of the two. Man, if they would have I know the payout was still good, but man, if they would have just left it all as just one long season 2,
would have flowed different.
Oh my God. The momentum of every character I think it would have aligned with season 1. I'll go as far as like the characters and the way that everything was going would have lined up just as good as season 1. And that's my opinion.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, no, I called that one because I was as soon as you set that up the way that you did, it was like, damn, they really suffered from the other. I was like, yeah, that's definitely the one that comes to fucking mind. For me, I said it to my wife while we were watching it, and she kind of half-ass agreed. She kind of agreed, but then not really. To me, this is one of the most brilliantly written shows of the streaming era. What I mean by that is, like, you know how people say, well, this is the best TV show ever, or this is the best movie of all time. I feel like we're getting into a completely different era of
we're already in it, man.
No. That's what I'm saying. I feel like, and to be honest with you, I feel like what really ushered in this new era was properties like Squid Games.
Mm-hmm.
When it first hit and it first had that hysteria and everybody was all about Squid Games, I think this is one of the programs that really helped. When we talked about the beginning of season 2, and we said that the director, I always mispronounce his name. I mispronounce a lot of their names, so I'm either going to stick with numbers or I'm going to say that guy. But he, I felt like he had a really big burden, a really big responsibility to walk a very thin line. You can't completely copy what you did in season 1, but at the same time, you can't deviate from it either, because that's the formula that fucking worked. So we're like, you gotta find these different ways to get these characters to get to a certain place. And the reason why I think it's one of the most brilliantly written shows ever is because he created a premise that is seemingly impossible to accomplish, and he did it twice. And that is that you have designed a show revolved around a game or a series of games where you're going to create 456 people and put them into this game. And while, yes, we're only really going to focus on 8 or 9 of them, you're still collectively putting in 456 people into this game, and they're telling you at the beginning of the show, one will live. 455 people are going to die. It's a guarantee. And yet, based on the writing, you forget that. You take this journey with these characters throughout the course of the games, and you start to kind of forget that these people you're looking at will fucking die. But they do it in a way where it's just like, man, I really hope this person doesn't die, or maybe they can come up with some sort of idea for this person. And at the end of season 1, you're new to the show, so you watch it the first time, and people dying, and you get down to the last guy at 456, Sung Gi-hung. That one I will always remember. And that's the end of the show. That's the end of season 1. In season 2, you're kind of like, you're aware now. You're more of a veteran, right? So the beginning of the series of season 2, right up until I think about episode 2 or 3, when he goes back into the actual games, you start to see a lot of familiar things, which is also why I thought it was brilliant to start off with red light, green light again, just to kind of get the viewer back into that Squid Game world again. So you go, oh, this sucks because, I know all these people are going to die now. But what he changed in this one, which got your hopes up, was the revolution, the revolt. We're gonna try to stop the games altogether. That gave you, as the viewer, oh, maybe they can survive, right? Oh my God, if this works, no, not gonna work. This doesn't work. And no matter how many, we call them in wrestling, we call them hope spots. No matter how many times it gives you the impression like this person might. You have to come to this always knowing there will only be fucking one. And it's difficult. And we saw 2, and then like a year went by or close to it, and then we saw 3. And, I had my opinions about it. But here's what I did, because I'm an idiot, and I think my wife's Asperger's thing is true about me, because I get obsessive. I understood that it was one flowing season that they cut in half, but time tends to blur worlds. So after I saw 3, and we waited a couple days or whatever, I watched 2 and 3 in a row. So I started it from season 2, and I watched it all the way to the end of season 3 because I just wanted to feel the flow. Instead of the break in between. I just wanted to go from the failed revolution into the new start of the blah, 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 blah. And I just wanted to watch the whole thing all in one thing. And as I started doing that, I started noticing things that I didn't notice the first time around.
Okay, hold on. You watched the whole run before you saw 3 for the first time, or did you run it back?
No, we sat down, me and Steph, and saw 3.
Yes.
And then after we saw 3, a few days later, I was like, I think I want to get a flow. And it just flew all the way through.
So you ran it back.
So okay. I ran it back.
Yes. See, okay, how was that?
Okay, so when I did that, what I did was I started picking up on the things that I missed by not watching it all together. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, the crazy shaman lady. Mm-hmm. So she, to me, was one of the most amazing. When I watched it all back, she became one of the most amazing characters to me. Because
I liked her.
She was doing the whole shaman thing, and she said everything in the creepiest ways possible. She was like, "Oh, you don't believe me? Well, the gods have chosen your fate." And she would see all these things. And when you look back on her scenes, guess what? She called everything. She called all their deaths. The way that she said that they would die was a representation of how they died. all of them. Everybody that she threatened, when she threatens the old guy, number 100, he's like, oh, the gods have a plan for you. You'll fall and your organs will spill out of your body and turn to dust and all that stuff. And that's what happened to him. He fell from the Squid Games and his fucking there's a shot of him with his guts coming out of his fucking stomach. When she went into the room in the Mingle game, when she went into the room with the pregnant lady and Gi Hung and that crew, and she walked into the room and she saw the baby bump, and she just kind of shook her head, but then she looked at Gi Hung and goes, "Ah, you have lived longer than you were supposed to. You have a purpose that you need to serve," and that was his purpose, was the baby. Before he died, and she just went down.
Lose a lot of that, man.
She went down the line, and the more I heard them talk, the more that I figured it out. I also started drawing comparisons because I was starting to see what people were saying online about their discoveries, and they were like, "Well, Gi Hung in the first season made friends with the old man. The old man ended up being the main guy of the games. In season 2, he became friends with number 1, who was later revealed to be the front man. Now, we didn't know the old man was the main guy. That was a twist they saved for us. But we, as the viewers, knew that the front man, we knew he was the front man the whole time. But Gi Hung didn't find that out till the end of season 3. And they both wore number 1. So people were like, oh, see, he's tying together. There's the Gi Hung relationships between the two people are people who betrayed him. Right? In the first season, he had one of his best friends. Remember the smart guy, the one with the glasses? In the second season, he had another best friend, the dude he tried to borrow money from. Remember? So that, and then this is the one that kind of killed me. The old lady, 149.
Oh my god, dude!
When she died,
she was my favorite in the whole fucking show. Dude.
So,
she was my number 1.
So when she died, right? She died taking her own life because of her full circle story.
Yep.
She used to get beat by the husband. And in one last gasp to save her life, she used her special knife to kill him and defend herself. And then years later, it's the same knife she would use to kill her son. And she said her goodbye to the pregnant girl, and she did her last spiel to Gi Hung, and then she hung herself. But a lot of people forget, in season 1, there was also a hanging. The husband hanged himself after he killed his wife in the marble game. He couldn't live with himself, remember? In the first season, there was a hanging. They woke up and the box came. It was the same situation. He found a way, the director, to run back a lot of the ideas that he used the first time. He just packaged them differently the second time around. And he made.
But if you even piece it together, even crazier is that one of the, like, all that stuff you're saying, it's. I remember the complaints of people of the beginning of season 2, like, oh, they're trying to recreate it. It's not the same, yada, yada, yada. But in a sense, I think it's better because the whole purpose of the first one is like you experienced this firsthand and he saw what was happening. And his whole thing was, these people don't have a choice. Like, what you're doing is fucked. And both number ones in their own way try to explain to him, like, dude, you don't get it. Like, these people are trash. And what we're doing is for our entertainment and side hustle, we're giving these people an opportunity. They're street trash. They're going to die anyway. They owe tons of money. Their life is over. This is a redemption arc for at least one of them. And it gives them an opportunity, and they're like, no, they don't have the choice, yada, yada. So they run it back and give them nothing but choice. And you get to watch. I don't know. I know I'm butchering his name. You get to watch him, Gi Hung. You get to watch him go from people are good to pretty much he starts to, like, he's becoming broken.
Yes.
He almost fully breaks to the point where he's like, yo, fuck these people. To the point where you get the feeling, especially when they start tying in, like, what's his name? The guy with the black mask?
The front man.
The front man, yeah. When they start kind of trying to show this scene between how the front man became the front man and what Gihan is experiencing now.
Right.
And you start to get this idea of, the torch is going to be passed. Right. You're like, it's coming. And then you get this full stop at the end with the events with the baby and stuff like that, where he starts to regain his people. Yes, like the idea of, this is what's happening, but like people still aren't bad. Like he kind of comes back from it a little bit up to like his last line where they leave it open for interpretation, which I think was pretty cool, where he goes out with pretty much leaving the world with the idea of, no, I was right. People aren't bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to interpretation. Mm-hmm. So that full circle, the writing on that.
Humans aren't horses. That was the last one. Remember? Humans aren't horses.
Yeah. Humans aren't horses. Humans are ... Mm-hmm. And it leaves it open for people to just kind of like fill in the blank for whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
But that writing is insane, dude. It's so fucking good to where it's like, the first part of the season gets a bad rap, but the second really brings everything in full circle. So if you didn't watch it and you got this completely spoiled and you don't care, watch it from the beginning to the end, and you will get a full fucking phenomenal story that I will argue is better than the first season.
Remember who Gi-hung faced in the Squid Game in the first season? It was his best friend, but it was also the rational guy. Remember, that was the one who kept thinking of all the strategies, the odds. He was always he was always an undercutting kind of. He didn't really portray himself as a villain until late into the show when he set up Ali, when he set up the Indian guy. Then the audience hated his guts when he tricked him into that. But even that could have been explained, right? It's a game where people have to die. It wasn't until he really got deep into the dinner and all that stuff when he is true villain mode. 333 MC Coin in this current season was also smart guy, business oriented, rational dude, kind of played both sides. Didn't really give you the impression that he was evil or a villain, just kind of a dickhead and a douchebag and an arrogant piece of shit. But not really someone that you would look at and go, yeah, he's a murderous asshole, until things escalate and all of a sudden, who's the last guy to face against Gi-hung? It was MC Coin. And there's a theory online where people were saying, everyone hated Thanos, but what if Thanos was the only one that saw him for the douchebag he really was in the first place? He's such an out-of-control ass that you look at those two people and you go, oh yeah, Thanos is clearly the dick. But everything Thanos said about him ended up being very fucking true. Even down to the point of holding his own daughter over a cliff, threatening to kill the baby if Gi-hung doesn't fucking surrender himself. So, like, the way that they put this whole fucking thing together is just fucking amazing, top to bottom. The piece of shit Afro son who couldn't get out of his own fucking way, who spent a whole 30 minutes walking around strangers he'd never met before, that he didn't have the guts to take out, but then with the seconds counting down, he's willing to murder a mother and her baby. But the shining MVP to me, my favorite character. You said yours was the old lady 149. That was a great pick. Mine's is 120. Hyung Ji. I'll never forget the transsexual one.
Oh my God, that's my number 2. That's my wife's number 1.
She was about that life. She was ready for it. She was fucking ready.
I tell you what, she went out like a fucking Jeez,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
She was,
Yes,
that
sir.
hide and seek game.
Yes,
the
sir.
first game was her game too. The one, the relay that
The
was sick
Pantheon,
too.
yeah.
But this, bro, she
Listen.
was fucking Rambo
When she
in those
put
fucking
those,
hallways,
when she
dude.
put the keys in her shirt and fucking knuckled up, was ready for the smoke. That was it. That's all I needed to see, son.
So good. Dude.
I was like, oh, she's going for it. And then the killer part when she finds the door, and she opens the door and she sees the way out, and she goes back.
For a second, though, hold on. For a second, it was, you saw it in her face. It was right there.
Uh-huh.
I thought for a moment she was just going to shut the door. Like, that's the look she had on her face. And then she turned around.
And she went back.
Oh, it was but a second.
And she went back, and she went and she tried to save her friends, and that was it. That was the end of that. Of all the heartbreaking moments of this entire show, that was the one that killed me. I was like,
And the person who killed her.
MC Coing, I know.
He didn't have to. See, that's the thing. See, this is why the writing is insane.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to kill her.
Yeah. He was already saved.
He was good.
Yeah, he was good. No, but see, that goes, and I'm going to talk about that next, as a matter of fact, because I think this is another element to the show that makes it so great. The games. The games are, I don't know how many times I've watched Squid Games with people, or in my own house with Steph, and I pause it because we've got to talk about strategy. We've got to talk about strategy. Because before he killed 120, and before him and Crazy Dude came up with the idea of teaming up together, just clearly when they were in the room and they were going over the rules, I paused it immediately and I told Steph, I said, okay, I get this, right? So the blue team is going to hide, the red team will seek, the red team has the knives and the blue team have the keys. They can escape any which way that they can, but the red team can kill anybody they want except for other reds. That's it. But the whole goal of the game is to eliminate as many people as possible. So if it's even numbered from red to blue, yes, you only need to kill one to continue on to the next round. But if you eliminate more than one blue, it's a possibility you're also eliminating reds without attacking them. That increases the pot. So me and Steph right off bat was like, listen, I'm murdering any blue I could find, period. That was the first thing we said. And then as the whole game progressed, and then that's how it ended with him killing 120, I was like, I immediately take back my strategy. You shouldn't have done that, you son of a bitch. God damn it. Why'd you make me fucking have to... That was my strategy, and now it sucks because this person's that I wanted to keep alive.
I'm not going to hold you. When that happened, a big piece of my wife was kind of checked out of the show.
Oh.
She was so, like, visibly.
Is that what she posted about being mad?
Was that probably, if she was talking about Squid Games? Yeah,
yeah. That she said,
dude,
yeah.
She was it. She died inside when that happened, dude.
Oh,
that was her favorite character. Dude.
And then right immediately after that, the old lady died. Right, like immediately.
That
after
was
that,
my It was back. It was not a good couple. It was not, because dude, that broke, dude. I'm not gonna hold you. I had tears. Like I was actually in tears.
Yeah.
When she told the story,
when Hungji, the number 120, when she died, I teared up too. Because that face, she made that face too, like that realization that she got stabbed. Mm-hmm. Like that face she made was like a perfect. That was like, not to include wrestling terms, but what a great sell. Like that sell, that face she made, and then she collapsed to the ground and.
I mean, it was that story of like, well, so I forget exactly. Maybe you can refresh my memory, but I remember she was like rushed. She said she was rushing her son to the hospital and praying to God that if she saves him, I forget what it was. I forget what the promise was.
Oh, the old lady. Yeah.
Yeah, and the son survived. Only to fast forward. And she was the one who fucking killed her son.
Well, so there's more to that context, because so the reason why he OD'd on the pills was because she finally snapped on him verbally.
Yes, there you go.
He had been such a bitch his whole life,
yes.
and had done so many inappropriate and wrong things that she just couldn't take the shame of it anymore, and she got on him. And then he went home and cleared out his medicine cabinet, and that's when she said, you know, if you save him, I'll be good, I'll be better, or whatever. And that's when the road and the process of her coddling him every day afterwards started, which obviously made everything worse because all of a sudden now it's like there's no boundaries now because the mom feels so guilty that he went to the hospital the first time. She refuses to see it, even down to the games. Remember in the games when they were doing Mingle in the ring around the Rosies and all that stuff, they were together for most of the games, and then there's one scene where they said one number, I forgot what number it was, and a bunch of dudes grabbed him and left her, and he fought off for a bit, but then he kind of just like went with it, and then the front man and Gi-hung grabbed the old lady, went into the room, and everybody's safe. When they're in the room, the front man goes, "Where's your son? He didn't take you?" And then she's just trying to explain it. "Oh, we got mixed up," and and he kept pushing, like, "But he didn't come looking for you," or whatever. And then she took it as like an attack. She got defensive, and she started cursing him out. And he was, "You're right. That was my mistake. I overstepped," or whatever. But that's how far it goes. She knows in her heart. You can see it in her face. He left her. She knows it, but she's so riddled with guilt that
she felt almost like she deserved it.
She forgave him almost instantly. When they came out of the rooms and he was crying and he was contrite and he was just like, "I'm so sorry, Mom." And she was just like, no, don't worry about it, don't worry. Because that's how deep it went. We didn't understand it at the time of that scene.
Know it. Yeah,
but when she explained to Gi-hung later what that relationship was like, it made all that other stuff that happened between them make sense. Even down to the arguing when we first meet them. Because he joined the Squid Games to settle his debt. She joined to settle his debt. She didn't know that they were going to do it at the same time. So when we first meet them, they're arguing about that fact. But even then, she would only argue to a point. She was very apprehensive about pushing him too far. And now we find out at the end why. Because the one time she did push too far, he took it too far and he almost killed himself. So, like, you have to, like, watch you have to, like, figure out the patterns. It was, like, the same thing with MC Coin. He looks like, midway through the season, like he's going to rise above all the bad decisions, right? He's talking to John He, 222. "Oh, we're going to get out of here, start a whole new life." And he's talking all this sweet stuff. We're going to raise the baby, yada. But the more the season continues on, the more she keeps pushing him away. And there were people that were just like, "I don't understand why she's pushing him away. He's trying. He's making an effort." She saw through the bullshit. And as his character developed, we started to see what she saw. He never gave a shit about that baby. It was never... The baby got in the way. He did love her as long as he got to do what he wanted to do with his life. So every time she pushed him away, he made effort. But after she injured her ankle... and she had the baby, and then that last event with the jump rope, when she just surrendered in her head, "There's no way I survived this. Of all the fucking games, you want me to do a jumping game on one foot. So, like, this is not going to fucking work." He pleaded with her that second time. But he never showed, if you look back on all the scenes, never showed a shit about the kid. The one scene where he kind of thinks about the kid is the first time because she gave birth in hide and seek. So when they leave hide and seek, she's holding the baby. Remember, everyone made a face when she came out with the baby. No one saw her give birth. That first time he heard that baby cry, he does react to it. And at first you would think, oh, maybe he's reacting to the sound of the baby because that's his baby girl. He just heard his baby for the first time. Maybe that's going to affect him. But if you think about it timeline-wise, his behavior got worse after the birth. And that's probably because he's probably saying to himself, "Oh, thank goodness, the baby's out. Now I could just have her again." Because that's all he really cared about. Once she killed herself in jump rope, all bets were fucking off. He didn't give a fuck. He knew that was his baby the whole time. So when they were at dinner discussing who they should kill, he knew the entire conversation they were threatening to kill his kid. He didn't give a fuck. It was all strategy. No, let's kill 125, the cokehead. Then we'll kill this fucking guy, and then we'll toss the fucking baby, or whatever the fuck the plan was. He didn't give a shit. But the way they wrote his character, it was very up and down. Unless you're really paying attention to him thoroughly, you could miss some of it. He didn't really reveal his true fucking villainy until right there toward the fucking end. And Gi-hung had to be faced with it because he didn't know that was the dad to the baby until he stepped up and said something, and then Gi-hung put it together when he saw them talking earlier. But he was prepared to defend the baby against its own father. Meanwhile, the father's holding the baby over the edge of the cliff as fucking a negotiating tool. So,
and to your point too, when he found out, when Gi-hung told him that he made a promise to her, do you remember his response? Nothing about the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, you had something with her, didn't you? Like, he got annoyed thinking that he did something with his girl.
Yeah.
He was like, oh,
you had a history with her, didn't you?
Yeah, you have a history now. Yeah, it's like, bro.
Yeah.
Bruh, I'm holding your kid here. You've been watching me holding this chick, and you have said nothing this whole time.
He didn't give a shit about it. He was the true villain of the story. Now let's talk about the sacrifice. So it all ends with Gi-hung giving his final speech, proving his point one more time to the front man that humans are not horses, and he eliminates himself from the competition so that 222 can stay alive to save the baby. Now here's the thing about this. In all honesty, I don't know if you've seen some of the videos. There were people who were putting together AI videos of how it should have ended, and it's all videos of him tossing the baby and then going to go see his daughter. Because this is the beautiful part about this show. Because as brutal as this show is, I don't think I know a single person, besides maybe you, depending on how you feel, because I've talked to a bunch of people since the show ended. You would be difficultly surprised at how many people were okay with the idea of just tossing the fucking kid.
I'm throwing the fuck out that
That's
baby.
what I'm saying. There you go. See?
I'm shot putting that baby off the fucking
many
thing.
people who were just like, I'm throwing the baby. I'm sorry. I'm throwing the baby. Because, Jesus fucking Christ, what are we really talking about here? That baby was born literally yesterday. The mother's not alive anymore. The father's not alive anymore. And so there were a lot of people. And that was to the director's point. Because in the director's mind, and maybe he's right, the good thing to do is what that character did. Sacrifice himself so that the baby has a chance. But in all honesty, there are so many people right now that looked at that and just went, that was dumb. I would have tossed that. I would have did a Joe Namath spiral. I would have went for the wall.
And if that was his idea, I will say that I don't disagree with him.
No.
With the idea of that could have been the right thing to do. But the funny part is, my immediate reaction to that is, I'm not going to kill myself for a baby that nobody in this world knows outside of these walls.
Yeah.
And that no one's going to tell, so that I don't get to see my daughter anymore. Like, it wasn't even the money. Money never came to my mind in that situation. The money was a thing. He would have doubled down and been like double the rich he was. But to me, in my brain, like, I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm not killing myself so that my daughter doesn't have a father when the parents of this baby that nobody knows and no one's going to know. No, I'm not doing, like, I'm not taking myself away from my daughter because of that. Like, that's where I went with it, which is why when you got to the end where he gave his previous winnings to his kid, that shit fucked me up, dude. Like, it was bad. Like, seeing his daughter's reaction to the, like, fuck that guy, I don't want to hear about him. Like, he's a piece of shit. He doesn't talk to me, doesn't care. To, yeah, lady, listen, whatever. I don't care. Like, look, take this box. Nick, he's gone. Like, he's dead.
Yeah, he said that he passed away. Yeah.
And her whole mood changed.
Yeah.
So, and then she was like, oh, and now she's sad forever. So, like, there's all kinds of, like, money, father gone, emotional, the guy was a piece of shit. Like, so many things happen there. But the thought of, I mean, I don't know, maybe I have a daughter, so maybe that's why it, like, hit me a little bit. But I'm like, dude, the thought of that made me double down on, yo, I'm yeeting this kid off this fucking cliff. I'm gonna go buy all the houses surrounding my daughter and then fucking live in each one in each day just so that we could I can see her through a window.
I wish they would be able to confirm this, but would that have made him the first ever back-to-back winner?
Damn. Double champ?
Double champ.
Universal?
That'd have been crazy. That'd have been crazy.
Undisputed?
He'd have been a GOAT instantly. Goated.
And he would have been the last one because they kind of got rid of the area.
Well, let's talk about that, actually.
Baby.
And this is where my anger rose. So, you kind of jumped into it, right? So, the frontman's actual character name was Inho, and he has a younger brother, the detective, which I can't remember his name, who spends this whole season just confused. I don't know what the fuck was the point of this whole thing. But I spent the whole time wondering, what the fuck is the point of him being on this boat for 2 straight seasons? But then the ending kind of made it make sense. The fact that he didn't find the front man till the very last episode kind of made it make sense. And what we're talking about here is when Gi-hung sacrifices himself, he leaves the baby on the Squid Game platform. We hear which I personally believe will be the now iconic sound of the voice actor saying, "Player 456, eliminated." Because that's the one number we've never heard eliminated, 456. It's the last player to ever be eliminated in this version of the games, right? So the baby's just fucking laying there. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, who's going to go get the baby, right? The front man actually is the guy who ends up getting the baby. He picks up the baby, and his brother breaks through the glass. He's shouting on him, why? Why would you do this? And he just kind of lowers down. He had a chance to kill his brother, but he didn't take it. So 2 seasons of looking for his brother. He finally sees him for like 10 seconds, and he dips off. For the record, folks, we don't ever see that baby again. Frontman has the baby, disappears. The island has been rigged to explode. And the last scene that we see is Gi-hung's prone dead body at the bottom, and we see a reflection off his eyes of the explosions happening above him. And for the record, that made me eternally even more sad that after everything he did to try to stop the games, his body will now rest in the rubble of those games forever. That's where he will rest now. He got into that limo and went back into the games and never left. That's a sad thing for me. But from there, when the Coast Guard comes in, they're doing their thing. We skip ahead to the front man in his limousine heading down the streets of Los Angeles. Now that I've been there, Jesus, unimpressed, right? So, yes, we get introduced to Gi-hung's daughter, who has aged a little bit. It's been a few years now. You explain the whole scene. She's pissed off about her dad even being mentioned, and he gave her the box. And the box not only contained the jumpsuit, but it contained...
Covered in blood.
The card with the remaining funds in it. Which, I don't know if that helps her at all, because that card was set to have Korean money in it, the won, and she lives in L.A., so I don't know if she's going to get...
You can convert.
I'm going to say, I don't know if she's going to get hit with an interest rate for that. I don't know if that helped her or hurt her. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Whatever dreams you have... Do it in Korea.
Yeah,
we're buying a flight. We're going back. Like, what do you? We'll build something and then fucking go. Yeah. Like, at this point, like, get over it. You can practice whatever the fuck it is over there.
Yeah. So we meet that, and actually, I just did the conversion now. 46 billion won is $32 million.
Not bad.
Not bad. For just waking up that morning and getting a card in a box.
You're gonna get taxed the fuck. You're getting like 15 of it.
So as the front man leaves, that's tax free, baby. They don't know about that money. That's tax free. As the front man leaves the daughter's home, he then parks his vehicle near an alley where 2 figures. I think
he was just in traffic.
Well, I thought it was specific to just that alley. No, okay, but
no. I think he was just in traffic and then he looked down the alley. I could be wrong, but I don't think he parked.
As he looks through the window, he sees 2 figures, 2 people playing Daki. And he's staring, he's looking, and it's a older white guy, and he gets the shit slapped out of him, and the person that slapped him turns, and it's fucking Cate Blanchett.
I'm so mad that I don't know who that is. Because I feel like that should have been a moment.
Yeah, you've seen her in movies before, but she's an Oscar winner, she's a hell of an actress, I'll give it to her. She stares at the front man. Front man stares back. Front man gives her a nod. And the guy who she just slapped goes, well, let's go again. She goes, as you wish. So as, she's being a recruiter. Now, upon watching just that scene, because that's how it ends. The last scene of Squid Games is fucking Cate Blanchett. I was red hot. Red hot. I was punch a hole in the wall hot. And people, now mind you, I didn't see it the exact day that it came out. This was a few days later, so people were already kind of trying to explain. Well, remember in season 1, when the VIPs were talking, they said that the Korean games were their favorite, which indicated there were other games in other places and that the Korean ones just, they felt were like the best, But there's games all around the world. Okay, fine, granted. Games all around the world, fine. But immediately after that episode aired, all of the information from Netflix all started flooding out and everyone was sharing it around. There was a director by the name of David Fincher who had done some Blumhouse stuff. He's done some thrillers and some horror movies in his time. He's made some pretty notable films. And it was announced that he's going to be helming an American version of Squid Games. And I immediately felt fucking disgust. Down to my fucking core. How fucking dare you bitches even think or can conceive of the idea that you motherfuckers think you have what it takes to fucking copy this? Go fuck yourself. You're gonna fucking ruin this shit. You already started off wrong with me. Cate Blanchett as the fucking... Listen to me. Listen to me. This ain't The Office, bitch. You can't just go around stealing everybody's shit and thinking that you're going to do something with this. And then the rumor mill, right? Because now everyone's talking. Oh, if they were able to get her to be the recruiter, think of all the A-list people they can get for the... No. Granted, the actor who played Gi-hung, the player 456, and the actor who played the front man are relatively really famous actors. The guy who played 456 is considered a legend in acting in Korea, and he's dabbled in some English-speaking movies. And and the front man was fucking in G.I. Joe, and like he's done American movies. Like they've crossed over. They have some celebrity to them. But Squid Games, while they have very talented actors who are probably well known for what they do in their home country, I personally believe that one of the best aspects of this show is that they had a tremendous amount of talent came to this show with a bunch of people I did not know. That allowed me to immerse myself into these characters because I don't have any other preconceived notions of them. The only thing I know about that old lady who played 149 is that she's the old lady who played 149. It makes it easier for me to kind of slip into the fact that she was playing this really serious and dramatic character. These motherfuckers in the United States are going to fuck this up. There's going to be a Kardashian in there and a fucking... There's going to be a football player in there. Floyd Mayweather's going to be in there.
It's going to be Scream 2.
It's going to be fucking stupid. Keenan Ivory Wayans is going to be in there.
Another problem is, like, we're also getting this, and maybe, I don't know how it hits in Korea, but for us, we're getting a whole nother culture. So everything's new. Their mannerisms, the way they carry themselves.
They played classic.
We know how Americans are. Yeah. So I can already kind of picture how this is going to be.
This is going to be fucking terrible.
Koreans love it because
the fucking Koreans. The Koreans are going to fucking laugh. They're going to laugh. They played traditional Korean games. Like the Squid Game is a traditional children's kids game. Here in America, what the fuck are we gonna play here? Jacks? Like tic-tac-toe? What the fuck are we gonna play here? Skip it? Bop it? Like what the fuck are we gonna do here? We just did the Toys Hall of Fame. Are we gonna do sticks? Hula hoops?
Dirt.
Someone's dirt, sand, bubbles. What the fuck are we gonna do here?
Rocks.
We're gonna ride radio flyer wagons down a hill. What the fuck are we gonna do? Do you really want to?
We're gonna play baseball.
Yeah, baseball. Yeah, we're gonna hire, Matthew McConaughey is gonna be player 224. He's gonna win a pie eating contest. What the fuck are we talking about? This is gonna be fucking ridiculous. This is gonna be fucking ridiculous.
But what if it's fire?
It's not gonna. I have very low zero hope. Zero hope. The person who's gonna run the game is gonna be Anne Hathaway. This is gonna be fucking bananas. Bananas. You understand what I'm telling you? This is gonna be fucking crazy.
There's a lot of pressure here because you're Americanizing it, which
never fucking works. Never works.
Also, you're coming off of the idea of you're like gonna have to. You're either going to not copy the archetypes, which you run the risk of being too different, or you do copy the archetypes, where then now if your story writing isn't strong enough, then you're just copycatting, because Squid Game itself almost cannibalized itself with its archetypes if it wasn't for the pristine writing.
Yeah.
So
yes, exactly. They pigeonholed
and the
themselves a few
pristine
times.
acting. So I don't dare. This is tough. He's got big balls. Because I don't care. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would accept this. This is tough.
This is not going to go well. They won't be able to fucking resist. They won't. It's going to be. They're going to pick. It's the same tropes.
You're going to have like advertisements. You're going to have like Verizon on one of the walls.
Oh my fucking God.
This Squid Game is brought to you by T-Mobile.
Yeah, that's the exact company I had in my head, dude. Our red light, green light room was gonna have Budweiser advertisements on the wall. This is gonna be fucking crazy. One of the Paul brothers is gonna be in this shit.
They're gonna have dude wipes on the wall.
Dude wipes, Jesus fucking at the bottom of the pit. The bottom of the pit when they fall and they do that scan of the dead bodies, they say dude wipes in the back. Jesus Christ! This.
If we don't have an American Warrior throwback game.
Oh my God!
Then
imagine
they're doing it wrong.
Oh my God! This Glass Bridge game is sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Holy shit! We're in trouble. We're in trouble, folks.
Apple Jacks.
We sat here and said, I don't think they rent their services out. They have too much pride. They're not going to touch Squid Games. You kidding? American Squid Games? Oh, and I saw the proposed name, Squid Games USA. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. How dare you? How dare you?
USA.
God damn it.
God bless America.
God,
nowhere else.
And nowhere.
That was that Chris Rock movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, man, he was running for president. Yeah. Jesus Christ. One more thing before we go, because I think we pretty much ran through the fucking gauntlet of all this shit.
God damn.
The games. Right? What was your favorite game, dude? You got to have a favorite game.
Hide and seek, man.
Hide and seek?
Because it was fucked, and they knew it was fucked. First of all, you had daggers, sharp ass. You're talking like the Green Ranger size fucking daggers.
I saw that.
Just straight razor. Like the dude barely nicked his finger and he was fucking bleeding. The other guys are like, oh, you get to escape. They didn't fucking tell them they needed all three keys. They had to learn that in the moment.
In the game.
And then when you see, dude, I got chills watching that shit because someone made mention to it that they're going to be animals. And there's a scene where they let them go into the room when they start the game. And you see like 6 of them hit a fucking corner. And they're all just like, thirsting for blood. Oh my, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
That's the scariest game.
They're coming
especially if
for
you're
you.
the hunted.
They're coming for you.
Shit, dude.
Oh man, yeah. Fucking nuts. Yeah, the hide and seek thing was pretty fucking intense. Not gonna lie. The jump rope was pretty intense too. even with two good legs. Like, especially that strategy with the guy was like, as soon as they come over, I'm just gonna shove him off. I'm like, God damn, he's brilliant.
That turn was good for a random person like we didn't
Yes.
fucking know about. That was such a good moment.
That was
for
his
that
only
one
moment
guy.
in the whole
And
show.
it was so good. It shifted everything. Like at some point, like it really changed. The other one I would say my favorite one was the merry-go-round. Where you had where it spun, they played music, and then they had to find the room.
6 people
that
in the room.
Shit
Yeah,
was
yeah. That shit was
crazy.
That Panthelon, the 6-legged race, that was pretty fucking good.
The games were good, dude.
The games were so good. I'm buying that pack, by the way. I found it on Amazon. They sell all 5 games. The Stone and the Gongji and all that stuff. I'm buying that.
Oh
shit.
yeah, when you do, we're
doing it, dude.
Play that shit.
I want to fucking.
I want to do the one where you drop like the jacks like game.
Yes, Gongji.
Pick it up in order.
Gongji.
That's
the
one.
I figured
that's the one where I saw. I was like, dude, if I had to pick any of these to do, it would. I think I can do that one.
I probably could have done the Genji, the kicking of the. When you have to kick the thing 5 times in the air, boom, 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 boom. I might be able to pull it. And the stones throw, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see. It might be harder than you think, or it might be harder than I think. I guess. I saw this. There's a lady online who was like watching the show. She was like, "Oh, I used to play that when I was a kid." They're like, "Really?" And they bought it for her, and she fucking smoked it. It's online. Where she was just like, "Pa, pa, 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 pa." I was like, "Oh fuck!"
I think the hardest one was the spinny top. I don't think I could.
I don't think I could roll it up. I don't think I could get the rope around the fucking top.
Dude, that spinny top gave me fucking anxiety, dude.
Oh my god, yeah. There's a
So
lot going on there.
Anyway,
Anyway,
it's over, but it's over.
it's over. I already expressed my dislike for the concept of it becoming an American property. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. I would literally want to give it to. Throw a dart. I would rather have any other country try, except for England, because they're basically us, just older. Just any fucking. If they gave it to fucking England, I think Pierce Brosnan or something would be in the fucking. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Give it to Australia, dude. That'd be a
They'd
fucking
kill it.
bloodbath.
They'd kill it. I'd give it to Australia.
That'd be
They'd
a
kill
fucking bloodbath.
They'd kill it.
You kidding me?
Actually, let's turn the whole thing around. Give it to India and have it all be Indians and then one Korean in there. Just flip it.
That would be Indians would be another good one.
No,
dude.
but give him the one Korean. Justice for Ali. Give him the one Korean.